What's going on, guys? My name's Matt, and I like to record YouTube videos and post them on YouTube. Wow, crazy how that works, right? Oh, man. Well, I've missed a few days and not particularly what I wanted to do, but I have seemed to have some issues in life at the moment. So, let's take it back to where we last left it, where naturally I was at work on Sunday night into Monday, and that was the day that Izzie came through. I said that, and all my dog's looking at me like you said my name. But Winter Storm, Izzie came through and dropped a foot of snow, sometimes some a little bit more. And then at the end of the storm, it got really windy, so it ended up making snow drifts in places. And there was places that had 3 feet of snow, because it took the snow from one area and put it in another. It's just the way it works. But we had like tons of snow. Um, I just want to say right now, I 100% called it exactly what I thought it would happen. I get a text message at an hour or like 6 o'clock in the morning, an hour before I'm supposed to get off. The girl who's supposed to come in on first shift texts me saying that her road's unplowed and she can't get there and blah blah blah, and that pissed me right the fuck off because I knew from how bad it was coming down. I was like, you just wait. I said it in the last video at the end. I was like, I'd just bet you $100 the person who's supposed to show up for first shift doesn't show up, and she didn't show up. So funny how my district manager works or lives in Cleveland, and yet she somehow was able to leave from Cleveland and drive 45 minutes on the highway all the way to work and made it just fine. But yet the girl who lives one city over, that's like 10 minutes away, couldn't make it. Weird, right? So obviously, because I'm a good employee, I stayed until 10 o'clock. Uh, and then when I went home, I had to shovel out my driveway, and it took me probably about an hour and a half, maybe almost 2 hours, to shovel out my entire driveway so I could get my truck in and out. And um, and then practically at that point, everything was still good. Um, been doing a lot of overthinking recently, which is never a good thing. It's usually what makes me inevitably get depressed in the long run. So I've been trying hard not to do that, but something tells me I'll probably continue doing it because the issue that I'm thinking about is probably something that I'm not going to stop thinking about for a while. So, um, so yeah, so there's all that. And then, uh, the it was last night. So yesterday, I would have not been like, so I could have recorded a video yesterday, I think. No, day before yesterday. I can't remember. Wait, yeah, so it was Monday, Tuesday. Today is Thursday, right? Yeah, so it would have been yesterday. I'm so confused. I don't know. Anyways, I'm pretty sure if I would have recorded one yesterday, it would have been on track or something. I could be wrong on that. Um, I lasted for 4 minutes with it not hurting, so I did pretty good. But this video is going to be much shorter than normal. But so practically what happened was yesterday I went the entirety of yesterday, like I went to bed at a normal time and I shoveled my driveway, and then I stayed up for a few more hours and ended up going to bed a little bit earlier, but still was up, or stayed up longer than normal. Slept, got up, had a normal day for the most part. Was going to go, so like the doorway, it's easy enough. I was bending over. It was just simply as that. I was bending to get under a door. The door doesn't garage door doesn't go up all the way. It goes about halfway up and it gets really stiff, and then you can force it to go up all the way. But at that point, it's just as easy to duck down and go underneath of it, because it's like I'm 31, I'm just this young person. There's no, why would ducking down have anything to do with anything? And I simply ducked down. I went under it. I went into the garage, and when I ducked down to get out of the garage, I just fell. It was like I don't even wasn't even a popping feeling. It was just something was off, and I fell down and I hit the ground, and I just remember being in horrible, horrible pain. I got up real quick. I made my way to my truck, and I sat in my truck, and I just remember holding my back, going, "Oh my God, what the fuck did I do to my back?" So when I tried to get out of my truck, my right leg was completely solid. I could not move it at all. Um, I hobbled like halfway to my house and ended up falling on the ground and then calling my dad and having him have to come help me. I was practically at that point, I was like, take me to the hospital. I was terrified that I was like going paralyzed because literally I could not move my right leg. Everything was tingly below my waist. My fucking, my back was literally felt like somebody was standing on my back just stabbing the shit out of me with a knife. Um, so he used this really fancy like massager that my sister and her husband bought for my parents for Christmas, and it like massaged the shit on my back. Which, don't get me wrong, it hurt, but it felt good. It was one of those good pains where it was like, oh yes. And oh god, the Xbox went dark. I need light. No, you can't. You gotta come back to me. Thank you. Um, ouch. And so, uh, I inevitably crawled onto my couch and just laid there because I literally couldn't move and I was in so much horrible pain. And I ended up falling asleep because the pain just practically put me to sleep. And I laid there for a few hours. My parents actually ended up going to bed, and when I woke up, I was just laying on the couch, and I still couldn't move very well. I had to take my overalls off because I was sweating so bad. I literally thought I was gonna die from, you know, um, what's that called? Dehydration from like overheating. So I had to take my overalls off, and I grunted and moaned the whole time I did it because I had to, have to obviously move my body. And on top of that, I was not planning on ending my night when I did. I still had this whole idea that naturally I was going to come out in the garage and I would record a video and all this other stuff. And then obviously my night turned on me and decided that I had other plans for what I was going to do. So when I woke up, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and like I said, I was sweating to death, and I was thirsty, so I chugged like a bottle of water. And then when I got done with that, my body was like, "Cigarette? You want a cigarette?" And I was like, I'm in fucking pajama pants on bottoms, so nothing very helpful. And I threw my Carhartt on, and I stepped out onto my porch, and I smoked a cigarette, and I froze to death, which was the worst thing ever because the moment that I got cold, my back got you know tight because my muscles tightened up with the chilliness, and that just made my back hurt even worse. So I hurry up and powerhouse the cigarette down. But while I was smoking a cigarette, I was sitting there looking at my phone, and I was trying to figure out how, like, looking up on Google about ways to get lower back pain because it's in the very low parts of my back, and I'm like lower back pain, blah blah blah. I look it up, and it comes up to being like, oh, which don't get me wrong, my dad had already told me this, so it was just I guess the insurance I needed while reading it on the internet that I have a pinched nerve because it's my right leg, so it's my sciatic nerve. So down my right leg, so when it got it pinched it to the point where my right leg went solid, and then just couldn't move it because it was like pinched in a way where my leg was just immobile. Um, Obviously the pain is excruciating. It's literally feels like somebody's in my back stabbing me with a knife all the time. Sometimes I can find a position where I can sit and be good for a few minutes and then have to move. Um, I've not been wincing and making too much fuss about it, but it has not been nice and easy to me, even just recording this video. I'm currently sitting with my left arm tucked behind my back. It's practically pressing on that spot. My right leg gets tingly, and so I went inside the house. I took a shower, and I let the warm water beat on my back and warm my back up and loosen me up, and I felt great. I felt enough where I could move around and a lot more, let's just say, added like 25% mobility. Still had all the pain, still really couldn't move, but I could move a lot easier than I could before. So um, so inevitably went back to bed, and I got up about 9 this morning, and it's been about the same as it was last night. It slightly gets better over time, but just about the time that I'm like, oh wow, I think I can move better now without having so much pain, then all of a sudden the pain comes back. So it's like I'm either right at that precipice where my body's gonna maybe possibly start healing itself, but I'm not giving it the time, or it's still got a little bit of time left, or I'm not really sure. But one way or another, I have fucked up back. I'm in a horrible amount of pain. I haven't really done anything but just lay and watch Harry Potter movies, so that's why I really haven't had super amount of time. Really, the only other issue is the headphones here were out here outside, and I wasn't trying to come out here unless I was planning on being out here for a little bit of chunk of time, because getting back here isn't easy. But being as I naturally needed to let my dog out and get her to, play with her a little bit, and feed her and all that other stuff, I figured, I probably could just sit down, record a video real quick, and update everybody about how fucked up my back is and how I'm in a horrible amount of pain. And it all comes down to the fact that guaranteeingly it was because I went outside and shoveled all that fucking snow when I got home after being awake all night at work. I probably fucking pinched my nerve while doing that, and now I've got, a fucked up back, and just need to take the time and the effort to let my back actually heal and stuff. And the other part is tonight was the first night where I was supposed to start my 4-day training thing at the other hotel, but I'm gonna unfortunately have to call my boss and tell her that I'm not saying that the whole week is ruined, but at least this first night I'm not gonna be able to make it, because I can tell you right now, there's no way I'm gonna be able to focus and or like actually reciprocate things I'm learning while I'm sitting here in so much pain. The other thing I will slightly apologize is I'm sorry that the video is slightly darker. I can't stand up to turn my other light on because it involved me to bend my back, and I can't physically reach it without bending my back. So the only thing you have is the Xbox that's displaying light, or well, the TV that's got the Xbox on that's displaying the light that you can see my face. But alright, guys, I'm gonna go because it is actually really starting to hurt, and I just want to go lay inside because I got a heating pad on the floor. And to make matters worse, when I got out of the shower this morning, find out that um, our sewer drains are plugged, and my basement flooded with sewer water, which smells horrible and wasn't great, and I'm not very happy about it. But something's gonna have to get fixed when I can fucking move, because I can't do anything about it at the moment. So, alright guys, hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, a like would be much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, you should subscribe to keep up with content that should hopefully be still coming out daily, but a lot of shit keeps pushing me down. My goddamn back is killing me more than anything. Hopefully I'll have the ability to record a video for tomorrow. But being as I was able to make it out here to record this one tonight, I should have no problem doing that. But if you guys would like to subscribe, you can click on this circle thing over here. You can click on that, and it actually allows you to subscribe. I was so confused for the longest time about it, but you can. If you just click on it, you subscribe. And then if you click over here on the top, you can click on a playlist that will show you all the videos that we have posted in 2022. And then if you click down here, this is the video that I posted yesterday of the snowstorm Izzie, as it decided to come through and tear through the northeastern part of the United States. So I will see you guys next time for the next one. I love you faces. I really hope you have a good day. And if you're going to go outside and shovel snow, please use caution and use your knees and not your back.